Well, we are back. I'm rare coin expert Walt Durham,
Industry veteran Ben Parker.
and we are the coin guys from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody saw me the other day and called me the coin guy. I said, that's what they call me.
Yeah.
It has been incredibly busy around here. Apologize in advance. I'm a little under the weather. Probably hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really crazy with precious metals prices, man. We've had more local walk-in business, just people flying by the seat of their pants saying, I need silver, I need gold. It's been really crazy. I mean, I was on multiple phone calls this morning, and we had people in the lobby. You had to come all the way around to try to help that. I've got customers. I wanted to go home today because I don't feel great.
Yeah.
And I got customers texting me saying they'll be here later to pick up some silver. So looks like it's going to be a full day for us.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, gold. So gold's finally closed over $3,000. Stayed there.
In fact, it went up past that quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and we're still seeing right now. We're seeing some people taking profit, obviously, but it's still staying well above 3,000. Yeah, and short-term price targets by Citibank have been 3,200 is like their new price target over the next three months. 3 months, I want to say, and they're looking at $3,500 gold, by the end of the year. But to me, the interesting thing is silver. Like, I mean, don't you feel like silver's undervalued? Oh, without a doubt.
And I think that's why we got a lot of local people coming in and trying to buy truckloads of silver. But with gold over $3,000, this is the concern that I'm seeing, that I want to make viewers aware of. With gold at $3,000, here comes the con men.
Everybody's coming out of the woodworks right now.
Everybody's coming out of the woodworks. I don't know if you know this. You know this for a fact, but I don't know if many people know this. But you can go buy a pack of fake 1 ounce gold bars on Alibaba.
Yeah.
For like $50, and they're pretty good fakes. I mean, they'll fool the average person really quickly. We have a portable $1,000 machine that we carry around with everything that we do. I'm going to tell people to stay off of Facebook Marketplace if you're looking to buy gold. It's not worth the $25, $50, maybe $100 that you save going to a trusted dealer. I'm not even saying you have to come to us. I'm saying go into a local, a local trusted dealer that knows what they're doing. Stay away from flea markets.
Flea markets, even here recently, I think we talked about it. Pawn shops also. They're not doing this every single day. They're dealing in whatever they deal with. So if they see it, they're going to just take it for what they think it's worth. But I've seen fake trade dollars in there, things that just the size is off, the weight's off, and they don't know any better. So they're just going to operate as they do. Yeah,
that's kind of my fear as as gold and stuff is in the news with all the tariffs. That's kind of it's basically risk off investors pushing gold prices and stuff. But it's so easy. Like my spidey senses are up for everybody who walks through the door now. I'm really looking for fakes because, and we've had a few fake stuff try to be sold here. I typically catch it without even putting it on the machine, but it's what happens. You can go buy a gold bar for $12, a fake gold bar for $12, and you fool one person, that's a $2,900 payday.
Yeah.
So be very, very, very mindful of that with $3,000 gold.
Yeah. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
And
I would even argue, you say Facebook Marketplace, but even on eBay.
Yeah.
We've been seeing a lot more on eBay where even the seller doesn't even know that it's fake, or they don't know that it's fake. And
well, right. And listen, I'll tell you guys about a eBay interaction I dealt with last week. So what people fail to realize is, there are real dealers on eBay like us and other notable dealers on there, but there's also just individuals who have access to a smartphone and they think they're dealers, or they really don't even know what they're doing. So we had recently had a guy, he bought a 2021 Type 1 Proof Silver Eagle in 70 and a 2021 Type 2 Proof Silver Eagle in 70. But before he bought the Type 2, he says, does this Type 2 go with the Type 1 to make the set? What would your answer be?
Yeah, if you want to have a complete transition set, yeah.
So I was like, absolutely, it goes with it. So he goes ahead and he buys the coin. It was $129, something like that, for a Type 2. He buys it. We get it out there to him. And I get a message saying, hey, this is the wrong Silver Eagle. I'm going to return it. And he opened up a return or whatever. And I was like, it's no big deal. It's $129. So, I lead off with that. I'm like, hey, it's $129.
Yeah.
Don't really care. But what do you mean it's the wrong Silver Eagle? And he starts talking about this coin that you sold me goes into a 4-piece set and not the Type 2 that goes with the 2021 Type 1. And I'm confused at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I have no idea what you're talking about because the U.S. Mint didn't make a 4-piece Silver American Eagle set, that wouldn't go.
It would fit in any of it, no matter what.
I was just really confused. They didn't issue a special 4-piece set kind of thing. And so I keep talking to this guy. We're going back and forth, not in a bad way. I'm trying to educate him. He said, well, I bought a Type 2 from a notable company. I will mind you, both of these coins were signed by Ed Moy. He bought another one online for $400, and he said that's the right one. And I finally was able to convince him that, he said, just Google 4-piece set, Silver Eagles from 2021. And he was talking about, you have the mint state, the reverse proof.
One of each, yeah.
Yeah. I said, it's still the same Silver Eagle.
Yeah.
You could put the 4 together and make a set.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, why is this one so much more money? Why is the one that I bought from this credible company, and I'm not going to say their name, but if you Googled it, you would pop up. And I said, some people just charge more. I don't know what to tell you. Our price is our price. You paid $129 for the same coin. Mm-hmm. And he gets it in, and he's like, these are the exact same coin. I was like, yeah, I told you. So he ends up keeping it, and I'm sure the company gets a return. But those type of people, I said all of that to say this. He's got stuff for sale on eBay. So it just goes to show you, just because somebody, eBay's a garage sale. You don't know what you're buying. We do our best to report fake items we see, but I'm not on it enough, and I don't have the time to go through all the listings. There's a little watch group that I'm a part of that tries to do it. Mm-hmm. And, but it's stuff like that. There are uneducated people. You're basically buying from just an individual, unless you can clearly tell that it's a Round Table authorized dealer, a NGC authorized dealer, or something. Yeah, A&A, P&G, whatever. So just be very, very careful out there with gold at 3,000 and silver at 30. $34 today, $33 today. That's a big run up.
Yeah.
From what we've seen in recent years. So the fakes will come out. And that's what our clients need to be, any precious metal investor needs to be worried about.
For sure.
So recent news, and I'm sorry I sound like absolute dog, but it is Southeast Texas where we live. Yeah. The pollen was so thick, it just builds up on our cars, and you could make a pollen snowman. But U.S. Mint, exciting news so far from the U.S. Mint, other than cancellation of the penny, is Gold American Eagle proofs and Gold Buffalo proofs are out. And boy, are they a pretty penny.
Oh, yeah. Premiums just keep going up and up.
I don't think people really realize how much, the Mint charges for some of that stuff. Because, they'll come to us for, proof 70s and stuff like that. And they're like, well, that's crazy. Gold's at $3,000. So they're coming out of the Mint, $3,900, right at $3,900. A complete set of the 4-coin set Gold American Eagles, almost $7,200 raw OGP.
Wow.
So that's going to factor into costs. Yes, they typically grade decently, but you got reject fees in there. And the market has proven modern coin collectors want proof 70s.
Yeah.
Perfect proof 70s. So there's really not a big market for the proof 69s.
No.
So if you are a modern gold collector, be ready to pay some hefty premiums, as if you didn't already know that.
You could even argue that with premiums going up as much as they are, a truly genuine OGP set would be worth more than one in 69, because at least that one has still the opportunity to go to 70.
Yeah, I always recommend to people, because we're a dealer, we're able to put minimum grades. We don't slab the proof 69s. Yeah. We'd rather have them in OGP. They're a lot easier to sell. And this is just a tip, a trick that we've learned, that any coin dealer worth his salt will tell you. The OGPs have a better market for them because they can be put into IRAs, not the Buffaloes, but the Gold American Eagles can be put into IRAs. IRAs are a big thing right now and have been for the last couple of years. Not a big fan of them. I mean, you kind of had this discussion earlier. Some people are getting taken to the woodwork. I mean, and just getting absolutely slaughtered. And I don't know what the industry can do to combat that. And it makes it hard for like people who legitimately want to put 91 halves into an IRA, right? Like really good coins that sell for a huge premium over their melt value. I've seen customers buy, ounce and a half specialty issued silver coins, at $80 an ounce and put into their IRA.
Yeah.
And I can go to any distributor and buy them for like a quarter over spot. And I'm always the one who's got to give them the bad news is like,
here's what happened.
Here's what happened. It's not like, I don't even want them. I don't want to buy them from you, but you'll never make money. Never.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this. Speaking of never making money, I see this getting really popular. Copper bars, copper rounds.
So it's the same thing with the gold as it is with the silver. When you see a big price jump up and it starts to make headlines, it's on people's radar. It's going to come out of the woodworks, and you're going to have magazines and things sent to your door and all the different stuff that copper, for whatever reason, it's gone up now here recently, so it's near highs, and people like investing, and they like different routes, and they want to see people like to think that they have a better idea on the market than the people selling it to them. So you got to tell the story about
So we've had an influx of calls lately on people wanting to buy copper rounds, copper bars. And I get it. They look cool and they are inexpensive.
Yeah, great designs.
Designs. They look cool when they're new. They do. It is copper. It does tarnish.
It's affordable, so it's a little enticing. It has the allure of it, like, oh, wow, it's only this price. But when you stop and think about it.
And I think the people who are selling copper actually do it on purpose, that they price them. Okay, so everybody, listen to me. Copper's price is based per pound.
Yeah.
Not per ounce. So copper today, somewhere between $3 and $4 a pound. A pound. You can go buy 1 ounce 1 ounce copper rounds for $4 to $5. And so people are like, oh, I'm thinking that's what's happening. They're like, great.
They do that on purpose. They make it that price so that way you subconsciously just automatically assume, oh, it's got to be by ounce, and they just do the association. And no, it's not.
But even if you were able to pay $1 an ounce for copper, a copper round, that's what, 16 a pound?
Yeah.
Copper would have to quadruple for you to break even.
Yeah.
So buy it if you think it looks cool, but you'll never make money on it. Like, unless you sell it to an individual who also thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
but they're not rare. They're like, I might buy a 10-ounce bar to put in the display, 10-ounce copper bar.
Yeah.
They're like $20. I mean, they look cool.
That's it.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So it reminds me a lot. Do you remember the Iraqi dinar scam?
I don't think so.
Oh man, and I think it's coming back too. Don't ever buy that either. There's this whole thing that the Iraqi dinar, the Iraq, they're going to reevaluate their currency, and you can buy 300,000 dinar for $300. And when they reevaluate or do these things, and it's any day now. They've been saying this since 2011. Any day now, like within the next 2 weeks. It'll be worth almost dollar for dollar. So your $300 turns into 300,000 or million or 2 million or whatever, right? Anyway, they've been saying that for like 12 years. And you're also paying about 100% over what it's worth. That $300 worth of dinar that you're buying.
It's just like a currency scam.
Yeah, it's like a currency scam. They sell it as a collectible and not an investment, but they present it as an investment, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And just understand that with rising gold and silver prices comes scams.
Yeah, and the worst ones are the ones that do gold plate coins.
Oh yeah.
So it might even be silver, but it's gold plated, and you'll see all over. It'll say real, authentic 24 karat gold. This is what it is, and then if you keep reading, somewhere it does have to say that it's plated or layered.
Layered, and
they use whatever verbiage, but all over you're going to see 24 karat gold, and then they will have a price close to, if it's 1 ounce, close to the spot price, so that you assume it must be
layered in 400 milligrams of pure.
Yeah, if it doesn't say
gold.
solid gold,
Yeah.
it's not.
That's why on our advertisements we do our best to put solid.
Yeah.
Some people come back to us and be like, "Well, they're not solid because they have like a gold American Eagle will have other metal in it, obviously," and it's like it's solid.
It's the same throughout.
Yeah. So just be very mindful out there. Do you remember the dude who was on Shark Tank who wrote the commercial for the golden buffaloes, the cladded in 400 milligrams of pure 24 karat gold? Yeah, I sold them on TV for $19.95, and at the time we were selling buffaloes for $1,600 or whatever they were, and we had people calling in. I paid $1,600 for this, and I can get it on TV right now for $19. Yeah. I'm like,
not
that
the same
is
thing.
Not the same thing. Again, most of the people, if you're watching this channel, you probably have a little more in-depth knowledge of coins than to get fooled by something like that. But just be very mindful out there of who you're buying from. I know that every major dealer out there does take precautions to make sure that we're shipping legitimate products. They're checked on the distributor end to our end to you. And if you are fearful of that, buy Gold American Eagles, Canadian Maple Leafs, buy some government issued coin. You're going to pay a little more, but there's
reason.
There's peace of mind in there. Like you can't go buy good fake 1 ounce Gold American Eagles off of Alibaba or Canadian Maple Leafs. But the pant bars, they get the packaging pretty close. I mean, really close in some instances.
That's another thing to be careful of, is especially anything that's encased. Like those pamps, you have to cut it open to be able to actually inspect it. Yeah.
Like our machines will read through that. Recently, we had a guy come in. He had bought some 10-gram gold bars off of eBay and wanted to sell them. I just couldn't get them to register on my machine. And I cut them, still really couldn't get them to register. Don't know what exactly was happening. And I was just like, I'm not saying they're fake, but
something's off.
You came off of eBay. I said, let me do this. Let me send them off to have them XRF, which is that, and they came back perfectly good. And I told the guy, I was like, hey, come back and, pick up your check. It took like 2 days. Just with, again, spidey senses are up with gold and silver.
You just want to err on the side of caution.
Right, because I don't want to have to, eat it or make the mistake of selling that to somebody else. So we're very cautious about that. And I would tell people to be very mindful of that. You don't need the $1,000 machine at your house. You just need to buy from reputable people.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Or if you're around us, come check it out and see.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
we have
scan for you.
showcases. Yeah, we'll scan it. Most dealers will do that for you too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you live in Wisconsin or something, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they should have one there for you.
I'm sure there's a local coin shop with a precious metals verifier, and you can get that taken care of. But again, wish we had some more stuff, but we've been just so busy. I'm not feeling well. But we wanted to give you guys a little bit of a market update. We've got some good stuff coming in the future, shows planned. I really think we're gonna do the fishing trip.
Very fun.
We're thinking about putting a camera on a boat and just going fishing, because that's what we like to do. You know, we are from Texas, and just talk about coins. I think that would be an interesting video.
Yeah.
But that's all I've got today. That's about all I can stand. My voice is going and fading very quickly. That's all you got, Ben?
That's it.
All right, guys. Till next time. Happy collecting.